the one and only Robert Whittaker, who is kind enough to join us from all the way over in the UAE. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to talk to you, especially closer in time zone where I feel like you don't have to wake up so early to speak to us. Now you just have to maybe stay up a little later, although you're probably training around these hours because this is when the fight is going to be, right?
Yeah, trying to, but it's hard. It's like it's hard to rewire yourself, right? I've got kids. As soon as they wake up, I wake up, and my body's been wired like that now. So it's more of I get up, do my things, try to have a nap, and then get up and do more things.
Did you bring your family with you to Abu Dhabi?
I didn't. I wanted to do this on, but logistically, we just couldn't work it out in time.
Okay. You're back there. You have fought there multiple times before. Do you like these trips? Do you enjoy fighting there?
I do. That's kind of, I think that's why the UFC have given me so many opportunities over here, is because they know my inflection towards the area. I do enjoy it. I like coming over here. I'm a creature of habit, so I have everything set up the way I like it. I have good friends and good connections here. We have gyms we train at, and everything just works so smoothly when I fight over here.
The last time, of course, you were there was the Khamzat fight, and obviously we know how that ended. Any of those memories come back to you? Any familiar things that, I don't know, maybe brought you back to that place that you don't want to remember?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm staying in the exact same room as I did for that fight. So,
literally the same room, like the same number?
I don't know if it's the same number, but it's the same hotel at the very least.
Okay.
So there are a lot of similarities, but honestly, with the amount of time that I've done this for, fight weeks blur together.
How are the teeth? Any like ill effects from that?
No, perfect, mate. Kind of, yeah, better than before.
Better than before. They look fantastic, by the way. How long did it take to get back to 100%? Fully healed, you don't think about it in training, you don't think about it in your daily life?
Probably a couple months. It took a while. So I just got them taken out, the teeth. So I got implants put in, and then it took them a little while to set and settle, and et cetera, et cetera. So now that's all done. I've had plenty of time. It's, yeah, like I said, better than ever.
Were you surprised when you were offered RDR, if only because he had just fought in May? This is a pretty quick turnaround, and they announced the fight very shortly after his win over Bo Nickal.
Not particularly, because like you understand how the UFC works, and a lot of good wins put you in good places. So UFC usually operate like this. You have a good win against somebody, they like putting you up again straight away. So it's and they knew I was looking for a fight, and they knew the timeline that I wanted. They knew I was happy fighting over in the Middle East. So yeah, when he had a good win, didn't take too much injury, he just they offered it to me, and I jumped at the bit.
Did you like the idea when it was offered to you initially?
Yeah, I did, because I saw he had an impressive win over Bo, and I saw that him, with the hype that he has now, as well as me looking for a fight, I understand that winning opens doors. And mate, he's a good fighter. He's had titles in other promotions. He's had hard fights. He's been around the ring a few times. It's going to be a hard fight, and these are the fights that I go looking for. Like these are the fights that make me better, that mold me into the fighter and the athlete and the person that I want to be.
Just curious, what did you think about the fight going into the Bo Nickal fight? Like, did you think, okay, Bo's an incredible wrestler, he'll have his way with him? And then what did you think in the aftermath? Because I think a lot of people may have thought that going in, Bo was a big favorite, and then in the aftermath thought, yeah, why didn't we see this? Why did we write off RDR considering his history and one, multiple weight champion and all this stuff?
You know what? You hit the nail on the head with that one, because that's exactly how I kind of felt. Like I favored Bo going into the fight. I thought, like, okay, let's see the prospect keep doing his thing. But then, completely, I guess, underestimating de Ridder. And then for him to do what he did in the aftermath, in hindsight, we're like, I saw that happening. You know what I mean?
It's weird because he's 34, you're 34, he's a UFC rookie essentially. It's amazing because we view him as, I think, like this young upstart. He's the same age as you. You know what I mean? It's yeah. And he's had a whole career prior to all of this, but I think a lot of people are starting to be introduced to him and find out about him for the first time because of that win. Were you aware of him? Were you someone who watched him? Do you even watch the other promotions?
Not particularly, but I was aware of him because I have teammates that fight in other promotions, and just the wavelengths. You see things on the feed, but obviously once the fight was announced, I've done my research, and anyone that has done any sort of research understands that he's been around the ring. He's had a huge tenure. He's got experience. He's a veteran himself. He's got a very particular game of fighting that if you let him do what he wants, he makes it a very long night for you. So, yeah, with all that, I've just thrown myself at the camp diligently in the last 12 to 14 weeks, and I look forward to it. Look forward to getting out there.
What does he want to do? You say let him do what he wants. Your read on him. What does he want to do out there?
He wants to pressure, use his reach, and land a takedown. That's what he's going to do. I think he's going to be pretty insistent on getting takedowns on me. I think pressure and takedowns is where he wants to take the fight. Personally, I'm going to do my best to not let him do that.
And this is a 5-round fight, right?
Yep.
He hasn't been in one of those in the UFC, but obviously has a history as a champion. How do you feel like he does in those later rounds?
Yeah, he does well. He's a good fighter. I guess him fighting Bo was more about how good is Bo in hindsight, like we were speaking. Him fighting Bo was more about how good is Bo rather than how good he is, because he's shown the world a lot of times how good he is. So yeah, I'm looking to get in there, get my hands on him, and make short work of him. But I've been training for a 25-minute slugfest.
Before he beat Bo, he wasn't really in your orbit. And so as you were thinking of your return, probably in these summer months here in the Western Hemisphere, who was on your mind? Who were you thinking of? Who did you think would make sense for you to get back on track with?
Honestly, I was trying to get the fight with Sean Strickland, and that fight never eventuated, just because I don't think UFC knew when he was getting back to training or what was going on with him. I had spoken to UFC, and I spoke to you as well. The UFC, the middleweight division was just tied up in a lot of different directions. So a lot of fights being made, a lot of different timelines, but I wasn't fitting in, the time frame that I wanted to fight in wasn't fitting with anybody. So I'm glad that this fight came about and that I get to get in there on Saturday and get back to work.
I saw you do an interview with Fox Sports Australia back home, and you talked about your 4-fight plan.
Yep.
So it seems like you feel like 4 fights gets you back into that title picture. Are you viewing this as your last push to a title reign? There's no one who's going to sit here and say you can't do it. We've seen some great stories. Some people go through multiple chapters in their career. Are you looking at this particular chapter as the last big push, or do you not think that way?
I do. And I guess because realistically, I only want to fight for another couple of years. There's other things I want to do still. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I understand it is my last big push, the last sprint, last 100 meters of the race. Let's get in there, get a few more fights in. I can see the path to the gold. And I can, the dream is that fairy tale ending. So, yeah, everything goes into this.
Does the dream end with you winning the belt? Is that how you're thinking it? Get me the title fight, I win the belt, and then I walk away?
That's how it goes. That's sail off into the sunset.
As the champ.
As the champ.
When you saw the scene this past weekend in New Orleans with Dustin, because you're kind of talking about a similar thing. Obviously, it didn't quite work out with the W, but he got the send-off, he got the moment. Very few fighters get that in their home state and be celebrated like that. Did you think to yourself, I would like something like that?
Definitely. I've seen it not only with him, but with some of the other legends in the game that have left. And I do believe the saying that you either retire from the sport or the sport retires you. And I don't want to be that guy. I've been fighting for a long time. I've got a good head on my shoulders. I understand that I understand that I don't want to fight forever. So, like I said, a few more fights, a couple more years. Let's rip in.
Okay, so 36, 37, you're done.
Yes.
Wow.
I would like to.
I
would like to be.
Yes.
Gotta stop having kids.
Yeah. How many you have now?
I got 5 going on 6 in
This
November.
is crazy. I saw this. I've lost count. I'm trying to keep track. You have 5 going on 6, man. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And what's the breakdown?
I'll end up having 3 boys, 3 girls.
Wow. Did you guys plan on having this many?
No.
What was the original plan?
Does anybody?
No one really gets. Sometimes they say, "Oh, we didn't plan on having 3, and we end up with 3 or 4." You very rarely see people break the 4 threshold, let alone 6.
Yeah. Because 4 is when it gets crazy.
Yes.
Right, and then you either embrace it and you just keep going down, or you give up.
So 6, like, can you even find a car that's big enough for the 8 of you at this point?
Yeah. 6 is good because you can still fit them in a van.
Okay, but that's it.
Okay, there's 8-seaters. You can fit them in an 8-seater car. It's good. 7 is when I'll have to get like a minibus, and I don't want that life. I don't want a Hiace.
Okay, so are you definitively done?
Mate, I was definitively done at 2.
You know, there's ways to prevent this sort of thing. You know this, right?
Oh yes, so they tell me.
Yes. Jeez, Louise, your poor wife. 6 kids. I can't imagine. How is she doing? Is she doing okay?
Yeah, Stella. It's a lot of work, and especially when I leave for 2 weeks for the last bit of the fight. As hard as it is for me,
yeah,
it's much worse for her. So, yeah, I sleep. You know, the fight weeks and the cut and everything else is a little easier thinking about that.
Is this part of the calculus as well, as far as you saying 2 more years? Like, you just want to be more present as your kids get older?
That's the primary focus. It's like the only reason I fight right now is for them. You know, I want to show them, like, I want to lead by example. I want to show my kids what I can achieve, you know, what you can achieve, what hard work and grit and determination does, and where it gets you. And every fight I provide for them a little more and push them further in anything that they want to do. So, I understand that that's the time now, but I want to be a little bit more present. Fighting is a very selfish sport. There's a lot of sacrifice involved with fighting, and I look forward to not just focusing on myself for a bit.
Have your kids ever been to any of your fights?
They haven't, and I wanted to bring Jack this time, but next fight for certain, Jack and my eldest that is going to come to my fight.
How old is Jack?
He's the one that says he wants to be a UFC fighter anyway. So show him the ropes.
How old is he?
He's 10, just turned 10.
And he wants to be a UFC fighter. Is he training?
Yeah, they all do wrestling and jiu-jitsu at my gym, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Smeaton Grange.
I love it. And so would you be in favor of this? Do you want him to go down this path?
Honestly, just the introduction into the lifestyle of martial arts is my primary focus. It's like I've already won because martial arts is my way of life and it serves me very well. I think everyone can benefit from it. So for them to be a part of that world, regardless of which direction they want to do, I'm going to support.
Okay. And even if they want to get into the fight game and all that stuff, you won't try to, like, you've had a pretty good career, I would say, to put it mildly. You wouldn't try to curtail them from going down this path. Some fighters would say, I want my kids to have nothing to do with all this.
Not necessarily. I can't control them. You know, I'm going to guide them to the best of my abilities. And if that's the route that they choose, then who better to lead to guide them, right?
Hell yeah, a legend. You know, you've been in the game long enough. You know that sometimes when someone's hot, they try to build that person's name off of the back of a legend, of a veteran. Do you feel like that is what is happening here, especially when it's someone who's ranked 12th as he is and you're ranked 5th and you've been a champion and he hasn't, at least in the promotion? Do you think this is a fight that they are using to try to build his name off of yours?
Not necessarily. It's not necessarily. I've stopped a lot of people who have tried before, and anybody who's ranked under me is going to be trying to take my spot. Okay. And I'm trying to take anybody's spot who's above me. It's just the nature of the beast.
Did you watch the event this past weekend?
I watched some of it. I was already here in Dubai, so it was a bit hard.
Yeah, it's late or early Sunday over there. Did you happen to see Paulo Costa's fight? And if so, what do you think of his performance?
I did. And honestly, I thought he was outstanding. I thought like Costa's he's very hot and cold,
Yeah.
but watching him fight on the weekend, I was like, he's back. You know, like that's kind of the Costa we expect to see.
Yeah, it was a very measured, I thought, a very calculated, a very sort of poised performance out of him, just the type of performance that he needed to get back on track. Afterwards, you know, he's very fired up about this Khamzat fight. Who knows how that's going to play out as far as him getting it. But could I ask, since you know DDP and Khamzat, who do you think wins that fight on August 16th?
Honestly, it's Chimaev is going to get him to the ground. If he doesn't finish him there, I don't think he wins. That's just how I feel. I think if you can't get Dricus out in the first, which Chimaev can do, his first round finishes is his thing, right? But if he doesn't get him out of there, I think Dricus looks good, looks very promising. He's a guy that if you don't get rid of, he kind of wins.
Who do you think has the best chance of beating Dricus at this point?
Hard to say. Hard to say. You know, honestly, I think Dricus is the sort of guy that will lose to himself.
What do you mean by that?
Honestly, I think Dricus is the sort of guy that will lose to himself.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the way he fights, I think it's obviously with every fight, it's very heavy mindset like driven. You know, especially for he's tough as nails and he never quits. And he beats a lot of people on the backs of him not going anywhere. You know what I mean? You see a lot of his wins that way. I think like the day that he can't push, a head of steel, he's a tough guy. He's strong. He's physically fit. He puts in the work, you know. Yeah.
When you talked about that dream of winning the belt and riding off into the sunset, is he the champion that you're beating because you have the history with him, or does that not matter who has the belt?
No, I'd like to fight him again.
Yeah, is that one?
That would be the icing on the cake.
Of all the ones that you would like to have back, is that the one at the top of the list?
Yeah, it is. You know, because the Chimaev fight's a very different fight camp, and it's not a super fun, right? But yeah, that's the one.
Because you think you're better than him.
I think, honestly, I do think I'm better than him, you know, but I think I'm better than everybody, even when I lose, right? It's mainly that in our first pairing, I let myself down in that fight.
In what way?
And I want to correct that. I just didn't have the headspace, the right headspace to go in and beat him, you know.
Was part of that because he was sort of hot and cold, like we weren't quite sure who he was as a fighter, unorthodox, and you didn't give him 100% the respect that he maybe deserved?
Potentially, like it may have been that. It may have been it may have been bad habits that crept into the camps before. It's, you know, who knows? Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. But I do know that I left that fight letting myself down, and I want to correct that more than any of my other losses.
Have you ever felt that way about any other loss?
No.
Wow.
That's the fight that, I didn't like feeling like that.
Do you think that will bother you in like 20, 30 years if you don't get a chance to right that wrong?
Well, I grew from it. You know, I learned a lot from it. You know, it's not like it happened and it keeps happening and I didn't do anything about it. I went straight back to the drawing board. I went straight back to the gym, you know, and I started working on the things that I didn't like. But I would like, long story short, no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll sleep well.
By the way, since the last time we spoke, at the time there were no Australian champions in the UFC. Now all of a sudden there are two. Volk gets his belt back in April, JDM in May. When you saw that, did it give you any extra motivation, any extra inspiration?
Definitely,
guys?
Definitely. It was inspiring, you know, to see Volk get back up, to see Jack get it done, see two belts back in the country. I was like, time to get back to work. Like, get me a fight.
everyone knew, Volk was already a champion. We knew how great he was. Did you expect this out of Jack?
Yeah, I thought I did. I thought Jack had the skill set to beat Muhammad, but he also had the X factor to become the next champion. And he showed that in that fight. Like his takedown defense, his reactions, his refusal for any position was just top notch.
I would imagine you're backing him against Islam. Can you explain why? I wouldn't even ask you who do you think is going to win. That's your mate. You're going to back him. But
yeah,
why does he beat Islam in your opinion?
This is a tricky one, mate, because
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're not backing him. Am I wrong?
No, I'm definitely backing him. I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk. Okay, but Jack's bigger. Jack's he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands, and if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines, but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
Have you trained with Jack?
I haven't.
Okay. That would be an interesting pairing. We spoke last week to Costa Tszyu, Tim Tszyu, Costa's son, who told us that he trained with you as well. And I've seen you train with Jayo Pitaya, at least that one time, right? I don't know if you've done it more than once.
A few times, but it was years ago.
Years ago. How come not recently?
Well, I trained once in recent days with him before the last fight. But he's a bit of a jet setter. He's all over the place.
Okay.
He's zooming out, fighting here, fighting there. He was injured for a bit as well. It's more about timing because he doesn't live in the same state as I either.
Okay. When you spar these guys, these boxers, these pure traditional boxers, as opposed to an MMA fighter, is there a big difference when you're just doing boxing, but it's a guy who just does boxing as opposed to an MMA fighter who's spar? Is there a huge difference in the way they attack you and the way they fight you?
No, definitely. It's a different sport. It's as simple as that. It's a different sport.
Even though the MMA fighter you guys are just boxing, it's completely different when you're going against an MMA fighter and a pure boxer?
Well, yeah. It's just like it's equivalent to they're just different sports. Like there's just MMA athletes have to worry about so many more limbs, and as well as like the threat of the punches, I feel isn't quite the same, because the small gloves changes the dynamic of the fight, and then the opportunity of leg attacks, of takedowns, it changes the spacing of everything. The square ring in itself changes how cutting off corners and cutting off at different angles works. It is a very different sport.
Do you enjoy it?
And every time I go spar these good guys, these killers,
yeah,
it reminds me of that.
Do you enjoy it?
No, I definitely enjoy it. Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. But after sparring like Tim and Jai, I don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I bet. And Jai is unbelievable. One of the best boxers in the world. And I hope he's going to get a chance to fight for Undisputed Gold. Before I let you go, I wanted to know if you knew this. You win on Saturday. That would put you ahead of Anderson Silva and Derek Brunson for third most wins in the UFC middleweight division with 15, and only one away from Michael Bisping and Brad Tavares, who have 16. Did you know that?
I did not.
Brad Tavares and Michael Bisping, number one at 16. Do you care about these things? Do you want to have the most wins in the middleweight division? I mean, clearly you didn't know the stats, so probably not on your mind. But would that be something that would motivate you?
Yeah, well, now it does.
Yeah. You just no one's ever told you this.
No, I'm going to call the wife and tell her maybe throw another couple of years on it.
Yeah, get to 20.
Yeah, just gotta just got to crack the code.
So what do you think? How does it end on Saturday? What are you feeling? What are you envisioning?
I'm going to try and get my mitts. I'm going to try and get my mitts on him.
Okay.
That's it. I'm coming in hard and I'm coming hot. He's not going to be comfortable standing with me. He's going to shoot.
I love it. Well, I can't wait for it. Always a treat getting a chance to watch you fight. Here in America, that fight is happening in the afternoon on ABC. Tremendous main event in the middleweight division. Always a pleasure, Rob. Thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to see you in action, like I said, and wishing you the best of luck come Saturday.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always great.
Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.